when I went out to find my wedding jutti, every other shopkeeper said, "Ma'am, ab kaun pehanta hai juttiyon?" It was not cool to wear juttis. I went to the villages, I went to the homes where the craft was made. So then I tried to get to the karigars. When I started Needle Dust, I was the designer, I was the customer care, I used to do the packaging, I was dealing with the logistics. I did it all. We started with about 20-25 lakhs of investment, and today we make over 25 crores.
कटरीना कैफ, प्रियंका चोपड़ा, आलिया भट्ट, दीपिका पादुकोण और सोफी टर्नर में क्या कॉमन है? They all wear shoes by Needle Dust. आज के स्टोरीज फ्रॉम भारत के एपिसोड में वी आर गोइंग टू स्टेप इनटू द शूज ऑफ द फाउंडर शिरीन मान. आज हम जानेंगे कि कैसे क्राइम जर्नलिस्ट ने एक एम्पायर बनाया दैट मेक्स मोर देन 25 करोड़ रुपीस एवरी ईयर. हाय.
Hi Tisha, welcome home.
थैंक यू. How does it feel to have so many celebrities wear Needle Dust?
Okay, so I have two feelings about this. Of course, it feels incredible, and when they organically want to wear what you create. And the second thing is that, like brides or like girls like Tisha and Shireen, you know, wearing my products, and you know, like a lot of times I bump into people and they said, "Oh, I bought this and it made my day," or "I felt like this and I felt like that." It just feels I'm equally elated about it.
How do you think you went there to people like Priyanka Chopra and Deepika Padukone organically reaching out to you? What do you think worked for you?
I want that each pair and each piece of clothing I make to be really special and incredible. I'm super passionate about what I do. It excites me so much. So I think maybe that translates into my designs. I hope that's the reason they like Needle Dust and sand. And that's why they choose to pick us, which is amazing. Yeah.
Needle Dust makes me look like a stunner. Got my favorite pair, love them. It's loved the collection, amazing footwears.
And growing up, what did you see yourself becoming?
Many years when I was young, I wanted to be an IAS officer.
Okay.
So
That makes the two of us.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay. I remember my dad talking about it so much, and I think when I didn't even know what that meant, somewhere along the way I realized my passion for English literature and just English language, and from there I think it went into just writing, and then it was journalism. I worked as a crime journalist, and then design happened to me by accident. But when it did, there was no looking back, and now this is for good, you know.
I think we all know about this story that you came up with the idea of creating your first pair of juttis at your own wedding.
Yeah.
But what was this obsession with juttis is what we don't know about. But why just juttis? Why not something else?
When I was growing up, my mom used to wear a lot of juttis, and she was really passionate about her shoes. And when my mom and dad were seeing each other, my mom has some very, very specific memories about their dates. Every time my dad would visit, he would buy her a pair of juttis. And by that time, Mama was like, "वो newspaper में रैप होके आती थी." So she says, "And I love juttis, and your dad used to gift me juttis." So I think like all these things just kept on being like a part of my memory, and I think that's what drew me attached to the idea of this craft, and just to get more knowledge. And when I realized that it's a dying craft, the people were giving it up because they were no takers for it. In the beginning, I just like, okay, I want to create beautiful juttis. We started small. We started with like 10 people, then 15, then 20. Now we've grown to a strength of about 100 karigars.
Wow. This is your love letter to both of your parents.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And how did you initially start? How did you raise the funds for it? Did you use your savings? How did you go about it?
So we're a self-funded company. Even till today, Needle Dust and Sand both are self-funded brands. And I think I was too nervous to take money from anyone. I'm an accidental designer, accidental entrepreneur, so I didn't know the entire thing of, asking for funds. And honestly, I just wanted to do this on my own, to be honest. And Uday invested in it.
I love everything about her, especially her work ethics, sensitivity towards friends, family. She's a great friend. Started really small and kept growing year on year. And she's obviously had her challenges. She also cries during her peak seasons, obviously when she's struggling. But I think each time she just comes out with great success. Seen her grow. I've also known her way before we got married, and I've seen her evolve, and also at work. Feel very, very proud to be her husband. Yeah.
What did you start? What was the initial amount that you started with, and how much have you grown now?
So with Needle Dust, we started with about 20-25 lakhs of investment, and today we make over 25 crores.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that with Needle Dust, what you're doing is, I always complain about why can't there be a Louboutin from India? Why can't there be a Jimmy Choo? But I think Needle Dust is doing that.
Thank you so much. I mean, we get messages from around the world. We've had like Western brides wear it.
Sophie Turner also.
Sophie Turner wore it.
Yeah.
We have Western brides that wear it under the white gowns. And so many incredible looks that just people wear it across Europe just on their travels.
Yeah.
And it is pretty extraordinary, A couple of years back, I think it was Dolce & Gabbana, and on their runway, they made the models wear juttis.
Wow.
Yeah, so which is pretty cool to see that silhouette to go on the runway, which earlier was always super high heels, I think it was very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. Or what do you think Needle Dust did differently to make jutti such a mainstream, almost aspirational product?
I think the Needle Dust Jutti is a well thought out product, in terms of design, in terms of creativity, and then the raw material we use. We use the highest quality of leather, memory foams, even the cotton threads that stitch your jutti are the highest quality, so they're soft on your feet. The goal is to achieve 100% comfort, but everybody's foot is really different. But as a brand, what we promise is to try our best to only do the best that's available.
Do you think as someone who does not have background in fashion, that has enabled you to go more creative and think outside the box, because you don't know if there are some restrictions or like set procedures to follow?
100%. I remember I made this one shoe where both the shoes had different words on it. And I remember my mom also saying, and like the designer, that time I had one designer on the team, she's like, no, ye aise nahi hota hai. And then they said the rule of fashion is that you make it for someone else, right? Like if I've designed a bird, it's always designed this way. Yeah. But I always design it for my own eyes.
Okay.
That when Atusha looks down, it feels good to you.
Yeah.
I make it for you individually, I make it for myself.
Yeah. And how do you go from ideation to execution?
If you have an idea, please study it, understand your market, understand the kind of talent you need on board. First, become all of that talent. Like when I started Needle Dust, I was the designer, I was the customer care, I used to do the packaging, I was dealing with the logistics, I did it all. So even today, if I have no one on my team, my businesses will run because I can run them. I think it's very important to understand that. Pick and choose. So you have your budget and you know what your budget can afford. It's not like, if you're going to invest 50 lakhs vis-a-vis a 5 lakhs or a 1 crore, it's going to be like, it's going to make a hell lot of difference. But I do believe that some things you have to spend on quality. Quality is really, really important why you put out. There's a lot in the market. There is a lot of people creating beautiful stuff. You have to set apart.
Did you hold on to your job for safety, or did you let go of it and went into it like?
No, I quit.
Okay, immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Like I had quit 6 months ago.
Okay.
Like I quit because you can't do two things at the same
Yeah.
time. Your research needs it's a full-time job to even research.
That's a very important lesson.
Yeah, it's a full-time job to research. You can't put your 9 to 5 in another job, which has nothing to do with the passion project you're trying to create, and then also do the passion project. But I love what I do, Tusha. Yeah. Some days, it gives me a lot of anxiety and I'm scared and I have my bad days and I have my days when things don't work out. But most days I feel fantastic about what I'm doing. And then whenever I get my time off, because I love to travel, I just get out.
One challenge that you've faced while building Needle Dust?
It was the first monsoon of Needle Dust, and by then the demand had gone up. So we were trying to build up the supply, invest more in inventory and things like that. There were two things. One, from my factory to my office, the stuff was coming and the truck got stuck and spoiled, and my entire stock got washed into. And the second time was that we had some overnight leakage in the factory at a corner, and the stock that was lying there got completely washed out. Like, I could not use it. I just couldn't do anything. It was just discarded. I cannot tell you how painful that is. One, in terms of obviously all the money is gone in and the money is a washout. Second, there were months gone into creation of those. There's a deadline that you put. There's a shoot that has to be done. There's like a campaign that has to go out. You've put money on the campaign. They've put block dates of people. It's all over, you know. And that, I think, was a huge learning for me. Obviously, it took me a while to snap out of it. You're going to snap out of things. It took me a while. I'm a very emotional person, so I felt a lot of things. But I was prepared the next time. We got humidifiers. We set our factories in such a way when we moved places, we made those conditions viable for my products. And of course, like, these things are all like learning curves.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you should look at it like that.
आज का एपिसोड तो was full of shoe dropping moments. This was literally Cinderella meets entrepreneurship story. ऐसी और भी inspiring stories हम डालते रहेंगे. So make sure you keep dreaming big, Bharat, and don't forget to subscribe to Curly Tales.